and I have a background in permaculture and regenerative farming dating back more than 40 years. I'm going to talk about how to create a regenerative, sustainable children's food garden, or maybe it's better to call it a small farm, as it will include various animals, crops, even insects, all working in a food-producing biological cycle where everything is recycled as in nature. The children's food garden will be based on nature's biological cycle: soil, plants, animals. The soil, or rather soil life, is the invisible and most important part of a food garden that we often overlook because we cannot see it. The children must learn that the soil is full of life and that they must feed the soil life with manure and compost to grow plants and animals, which are our food. Basically, the children must learn that most of what we do in a food garden is directed towards making good, living, healthy soil, which will help the plants and animals to grow well. It would be very nice if they came away with the impression that they are soil gardeners or soil farmers. To make a children's food garden, we also need plants and animals, as many different kinds as possible. In permaculture, we talk about different plants and animals adapted to local conditions, as well as biogas and biogas slurry, various kinds of compost. Permanent things like raised beds, etc. are all stationary elements. In that way, a food garden will differ from place to place depending on the local conditions and opportunities. The critical thing is to remember that animal and plants must always be a part of the integrated biological cycle that runs the whole food garden. The children's food garden must be based on nature's biological cycle, regenerative gardening and permaculture, production of biogas and beekeeping, production of biochar, production of all kinds of compost. I think that I conclude from the above that there is an awful lot of things to learn to a skill level to be able to do it. It is complex, it's regenerative, it's sustainable, it is very productive and requires no artificial inputs, and it's 100% nature's biological cycle, soil, plant, animal. It requires the kind of skills, kind of knowledge and understanding that is typically inherited from generation to generation and learned unconsciously over hundreds of years. That kind of traditional knowledge that children grow up with as a part of their identity. To learn skill on that level, the children must learn the same way as they learn to talk and walk. Using the Arini method in early childhood education is the only way to develop skills that the children will know and use for the rest of their life. The children's food garden must be a living, regenerative classroom where children can play and grow, experiencing and engaging with nature's biological cycle. The classroom must include children-sized models of all elements relevant to the food garden. The garden design must include a common area with plots where children can learn together to grow a wide range of plants and care for animals. At the same time, each child should have their own plot to grow vegetables or maybe even their own animals, so they can always show what they are doing and what they have learned to friends and family. At the age of 5 or less, they will make almost any animal a pet. But it doesn't matter for now. It is only about learning how to look after and grow an animal and understand what animals need to live. The children should be able to eat vegetables as they grow and bring home food for the family and maybe even for the friends at school. It may start with just a vegetable or an egg, but it is essential to aim for the day where the children can bring home a whole meal for the family. That will be an achievement that the children will never forget, because I can still remember when I was doing it the first time. A child food garden must be open to public, allowing people to gather input and ideas to develop their own gardens or farms. It may even be possible to get some children to talk about what they're doing and how they're doing it. It is very likely that they will be very proud.